and that song came on, you would not be able to stay off the dance floor.
Mm,
Or it makes you feel really happy when you think of it, or you've got great memories attached to it, something like
okay.
that. And then the key to remember is you won't want to listen to it. When you're feeling tired or you're feeling bad in any way, you won't want to listen to it because all right. And so, Swasti, what would you like to address today?
So basically, I came across this lady recently, and she does this work on like it's like self development work, but hers is like wishy washy, like it's very difficult and intangible kind of thing. But she talks about what's known as the feminine, and I don't know if that's like people have probably heard about it, but I kind of used her like her social media and stuff to be like, oh, so what's my work? What's my references for this? Because she talks about a lot about like trauma healing and da 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 da. But basically, so what I've been finding is that I just want to like enjoy my life in this time and the time I have to like focus on my work and one goal at a time. But the thing is, I have this constant like thing in the back of my mind that I want to shine, but I'm rushing around. I feel like there's like a layer which has been covered up, like it's like really dampened. And this is not like my authentic me. I don't want to be rushing around. Like I want a slow life, but right now, like that might not be possible physically, but emotionally it can be. Yeah, so that's what it is.
Okay. So, what stops you from slowing down, do you think?
I physically feel like I have too much to do and
Mm-hmm.
too little time to do it in.
Ah, I know that feeling well.
Yeah.
All right. I used to live like that. That was my life. I always had far more to do than there was time.
Yeah.
And it was a constant. I was never ever going to catch up. And the interesting thing is, I now do a lot less, but I achieve a lot more.
Yeah.
And what I realized is that, and it's very difficult to see clearly when you're in it, but all of the things that I thought I had to get done, when I changed the references and I actually started looking closer, there were things that didn't need to be done now, certainly. There were some things that didn't need to be done at all. There were some
Mm.
things that other people could do and that kind of thing. But my brain was completely blocking out any other options. And it was just that. So it was definitely a program. So let's take a deeper look. What would happen if you slowed down despite having those things to do? What would go wrong, or what bad things would happen?
Like not meeting deadlines.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like I have three deadlines coming up by like Christmas time, which is around 5 weeks. But then the thing is, like, I'm in hospital all day. Like, I come home at 5, pretty much, apart from Wednesdays, and Monday to Friday. And then I have to come
Mhm.
home and like sit down and work and
Mhm.
do everything else, like eat and go to sleep at a normal time. And I'm just like, I'm struggling to
Mhm.
fit it all in.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you look at other people, other students who are doing the same as you, what are they doing? How are they managing?
Everyone's situation is different because people are in different hospitals. So I'm in a
Right.
hospital quite far away. Like
Okay.
it takes me a while to commute there and then back. Some
Right.
people are literally like next door to the uni, which is really nice. And then
Oh,
some people like finish earlier. Like our sign out system is quite strict as well, so they don't put the sign out sheet in to a certain time. So,
right.
but people do seem stressed. Not like everyone's happy,
Right.
go lucky.
So it's not just you. This is
It's
a
not just
thing.
me. No.
Okay, all right. So let's say you've got a deadline. What's that deadline for? Is that you've got to hand something in that you're supposed to have written, or
Yeah, I've got to write a paper and two essays.
okay? Well, how do you commute? Are you on a bus or a train or
Well, right now I'm
walking or
like car sharing, so like
car sharing?
carpooling. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And what do you do during the journey?
Well, this is another thing. I'm so like fatigued all the time that I just sit there. Like I'm like I can't physically do anything because when we go in the morning it's like 7 a.m. When we come back it's like 4:30. So I'm just like
Okay,
so done, and that means that I can't deal with my emotions. Like I literally have no energy to deal with emotions. So I've just put up this like shield that I don't want to deal with anything. Like I want to come home, I want to strategically get stuff done and go to bed. I don't want to talk to anyone, don't want to do anything. Yeah.
Okay. And so when you wake up in the morning, between the time that you wake up and the time you leave at 7, what's happening for you? Obviously, you're getting ready to go in that, but how are you feeling? And what are you thinking?
Just so tired. Just like
Mhm.
exhausted.
As you wake up in the morning, one of the things you can do is turn on the light, meaning
Yeah.
go straight into the superpower state as soon as you're aware you're awake and before you even open your eyes, and certainly
Mm-hmm.
before you get out of bed. See if you can fill yourself with that light. And even if you can't feel it, do it anyway, because the feeling will follow with practice and with habit. And so you've got your eyes closed and turn on the light and imagine shining that light out, obviously filling yourself first, then your whole room, and then shining it out at your day, including the hospital, the journey, the hospital, the people, the deadlines, everything you have to do. So pre-paving all of that with that light. And
Okay.
the reason for doing that, obviously, it's good for you anyway, and it's turning on the feel-good chemicals. But one of the things it'll start to do is wake you up.
Yeah.
It'll start to help you to feel lifted rather than dragging,
Yeah.
because the feel-good chemicals will start to give you a bit of energy. So number one, turn the light on. That's what I call it. Then secondly, pick one thing you're looking forward to. And if you don't have something, get something. Orchestrate something to look forward to, even if it's just a cup of coffee when you get there, or chatting with someone you like in the car on the way, or
Mm-hmm.
listening to some music that you enjoy when you get up.
Mm-hmm.
So have something. And what I would do, especially because there's so much pressure on you, and you're in this time of your life where you've got a lot going on and not enough rest and sleep, and that I would do like markers throughout your day so that
Yeah.
you are always looking forward to something.
Yeah.
So when you wake up in the morning, look forward to your cup of coffee or listening to something you enjoy while you're getting ready, something like that. Then once you've done that, look
Mm.
forward to something on the car journey, something in the hospital, so
Yeah.
that you are choosing your focus and choosing things that make you feel good,
Mm.
despite feeling tired. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, because I'm so aware that the focus is on how tired I am. The focus
That's
is
it.
not on like, wow, I have something exciting here. I do have exciting
Exactly.
things. I'm not focused on them.
Right, exactly. And that's because the tiredness is the so-called danger that the
Yeah.
brain is. And of course, the more you focus on the tiredness, the more your brain is
It's tired.
producing
Yeah.
chemicals that make you feel tired,
Yeah.
right? And what you do want to do is then at night, when you are going to be going to bed soon, that's when you can focus on the tiredness, because then
Mm.
that will contribute to you falling asleep nicely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that
Okay.
make
It's
sense?
yes, I know all of this, but like I find it hard to get the emotions. Like I can't feel I can't feel emotions right now. Like when I'm tired. Yeah. Otherwise I can.
Absolutely.
When I'm
And you're
well
not
rested, I'm
alone in that.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's normal. I struggle as well. If I'm very tired, I can't feel the emotions anyway. But what I do is I go through the motions anyway.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And something that helps with that is having a visual, and even for those who aren't visual, however you know it. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
think of an orange, just however you know it's an orange. And for those who are visual, of course, you will see an orange in your head. So think of a bright light or a person or animal or place or whatever that you love, that kind of thing, and use that as a kind of touchstone. So when you can't conjure up the emotions, just picture that one thing or
Okay.
say the word, think of the word itself.
Uh-huh.
The other thing that can help a lot is music. There's a few songs that do it for. So Johnny Be Good, for example, that's one of the ones that if Johnny Be Good comes on, I'm like, no matter how tired I am. So
Yeah.
something that you find uplifting, and that that if you were somewhere and that song came on, you would not be able to stay off the dance floor,
Mm.
or it makes you feel really happy when you think of it, or you've got great memories attached to it, something
Okay.
like that. And then the key to remember is you won't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
When you're feeling tired or you're feeling bad in any way, you won't want to listen to it. because your brain is going, no, we must carry on feeling terrible in order to survive. And you need to override that and go, that's fine. I'm going to listen to it anyway, because it takes no effort. So just switch it on.
Okay.
And then see how, and if you don't want, you can always switch it off, but at least switch it on and see.
Okay.
How does that sound?
I will try this thing. Yeah.
And because putting on some music when you get up in the morning as well, when you're getting ready, putting on some uplifting, fun music that makes you feel that also, because as you hear it and your brain makes the connections, it's going to start putting adrenaline into your system and waking you up as well.
Yeah, I will try all
How does
this
that
thing.
sound?
Yes.
Good. Very good. Do your best to allow yourself to rest as much as you can, so whatever time you do have to sleep, I know that you are doing that, and continue to prioritize that.
Yeah.
Nutrition, water, all the things.
Yes.
Because all of that can help to support that. And whatever physical, real world restrictions you have, like not enough time to sleep as much as you need, having to get certain things done, the strategy that you have to do, whatever you're dealing with physically, it will at least be improved by changing your chemical state. Does that make sense? So because dealing with all of that from a state of feeling down or feeling tired or feeling stressed, worried, or anything like that is going to be a lot harder than doing it from a state of feeling encouraged, uplifted, making it fun however you can. Then it will be easier than it would have been, at least.
That's 100% true.
Does that help?
Yes, it does help.
Very good. So as you think of that now, do you think there's still programs there about always having a lot to do, or do you think that's actually the reality in your life right now?
I think it is the reality. I was thinking this, but my brain always went to, this is the rest of my life, but this is me just being dramatic, like every time. This is not my rest of my life. This is not the rest of my life. The rest of my life is at least 50 more years. Like this is me for 3 years, well, 4 years, including this one, and then I can choose whatever I want to do with my life. Like,
so this is
the minimum requirements. Pardon?
Right. Is this your final year?
This is my 3rd year, and then I've
third year. You've got one more.
1st year. Yeah. No. 4 more years of
4 more. Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 more years, but of course they're not all going to be the same, because you're not doing the same things and all of that.
Yeah.
You're going to be progressing, and that doesn't mean it will necessarily get less busy, but there'll be variety.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Good. Thank you.
There we go. I just have a question for Swasti, and actually you too, Odile. You just said something like, and you won't want to listen to it because being tired and exhausted is part of it. Something like this.
The danger,
Yeah, and I know you're becoming a doctor, and obviously there's a lot of studying to do, learning to do, and all that stuff. And obviously you're completely busy. Is there a part, though, that could be changed that, yes, I know I'm totally busy, but it's fun and I like it, so that you don't feel so tired the whole time? And I might just make it completely easy. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I haven't studied like that. So
no, I think that's definitely it. Like if it's enjoyable, if something is in the day is enjoyable, I can make it fun. I need to focus on that to make it fun. Yeah.
That's it. Thank you, Harriet, because it's also reminded me of one of the things I did want to say to Swasti, is that one of the ways to do that is to take some time to think back to when you thought you wouldn't be able to do this at all.
Yeah.
So that can help you to enjoy now, if you know what I mean. So, feeling like, tired and that, and then thinking, hey, but at least I'm not back there living in my parents' house. And what else would I be doing now if I hadn't got into university?
Yeah. And it definitely gives like a structure to the day. Like I need that structure, and the structure is there for me.
Right. And looking forward to the next thing, that's part of it as well. So, looking forward to arriving at the hospital, whatever that's like, looking forward to getting the tasks for the day or meeting the people or whatever those things are, bringing your focus into the details that you like about, because
Yes.
otherwise we tend to kind of skim over everything and just go, oh, it's this whole big thing. So
Yeah.
I know I do this with tax returns. A lot of people don't like doing tax returns. And, looking at it as an overall thing, it can seem like, oh gosh, it seems so confusing, or there's so much to do, or, that kind of thing. And what I do is I drill right down to the feeling of filling in the blanks. And my brain likes that. My brain gets a satisfaction from going, oh, there, yes, and I fill that in, rather than a whole, you know what I mean? So I break it down. And if there's things that I really don't like doing, I pick something to look forward to afterwards. So I think, okay, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that. So it's a feeling of, I'll get that done, and then I can do that. I'll eat my vegetables, then I can have my dessert. That kind of attitude, right?
Yeah,
and
actually,
the sooner I get that done, the sooner I'll get to do whatever it is. Sorry, sweetie, you were saying.
Sorry, yeah. And recently, I was just wanted to add, I talked to someone, they were like, oh, I paid my first taxes. Like, because, like when you earn enough, you pay your taxes. And she was like, I'm so excited. And I was like, whoa, like you can, like it means different things depending on the meaning you give it. And it's just a reminder. I just need to remind myself. Because another thing I was going to add was that people in hospital, they're healthcare workers, so they're exhausted too. They're doing night shifts and all. Everyone's energy is very low because of that. I'm like, oh, no one gives me back that high vibe when I had the high vibe. So I'm like, I don't need that from anyone else. Like, it's me.
That's right.
And not everyone
absolutely
shows happy energy in the same way.
That's right. Yes, absolutely. You bring your own. So you don't need it from anyone else, and not expecting it from others helps a lot. Because I know I've always been a very friendly person, but I would get so upset when I was friendly to someone and they weren't friendly back to me. I would get so offended until I thought, you don't need it. It's not tennis. It's not like you're hitting the ball and you're waiting for the other person to hit it back. It's just you're shining. It's a light that you're shining. So that's good. Yeah, I remember the first time I was able to pay taxes as well. The first time I earned enough to pay taxes, and it was only 2016, I think it was. And there was the first time in my life that I earned enough to pay. And it was like £250 that I owed. And I was beside myself with excitement. It was like, oh, look, I get to pay taxes now. Because same as the person you mentioned, it meant I've achieved something. I'm in a position where I'm able to do that. So yes, the framing of it, what it means, and choosing a meaning that's empowering.
Yeah, definitely.